I've been good to go for 30 minutes, so...
You are 30 minutes. Who gave Jericho books?
Nobody.
Is it Aquin that one of you can read?
That would be me.
Okay. I remember the words I gave you for your bow there, Kelp. It was sudden and rainstorm, and then the middle word you didn't know. It's not like it's super important, so if you want it written down in some specific spot, just so that your character doesn't know but you know, that middle word is fatal. So it's sudden, fatal rainstorm.
It has been added to my shortbow file.
Alright. If everyone's ready, we'll... Oh, excuse me. Start recap. Recap is... Y'all were inside of a backyard of some fenced-off building. There was a chocolate golem. You killed the chocolate golem. Upon defeating it, which included eating it while it was fighting you, a giant ducatrace ridden by a monstrous giant rabbit attacked all of you. And the rabbit and duck had damaged, and it was actually a very close fight, but in the end, you guys won. Once done, you guys picked up the magical book, headed on off, deciding that it would be best to give to Octminos. Thought you might try to hide it from the man that was inside of the building. He seemed to already assume you were going to take it to Octminos anyway. And after you had exited his building, he revealed that there's some time travel stuff going on with him. And he went poof. And then all of you decided then to continue on back to the main city. On your way there then, before we begin game and reach your destination, on that 3-day trek, does anyone wish to have their character do anything unique, like look for items, like fucking mushrooms or something of that nature, or use their magic rod or dice or anything of the such? Otherwise, we'll assume it's a straight 3-day travel with sleep in between.
Do we pass any rivers or anything along the way?
Sure. One of those days, you guys decided to set up camp near a river because it was near the time and you wanted to be near the river.
Tiny, be right back.
I bathe in the river.
I will search for unique rocks. Because rocks.
Alright, go ahead and roll me a search check, I suppose.
I freeze the river.
Are you really gonna freeze the river?
God, no.
11.
I already have the druids pissed off at me, Marcus.
I mean, the river will eventually unfreeze.
But it'll, like, fuck up a lot of anything that's in there.
Yeah. No, you don't really find anything too unique. It's just your normal river bedrock. I mean, maybe there's some neat rocks in there that you like the shape, look, or feel of, but ultimately you do not find, like, gold or gemstones or any of that kind of items. Kelp.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, I guess, you know, during a couple of these nights, I'm going to be repairing what damage I did to my war axe, chipping away at the rock for the, that was a quartz?
Something like that, yeah. Lamb or Tate, did either of you want to use your magical items?
No. Not right now.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. In that case, the party then eventually returns back home. You are outside the city gates. You enter through the city gates. It is, at this point through your travel, about an hour before sunset. This is the end of the third day, give or take. So you'd have enough time to go drop off that book to Octmenos before sun sets.
We should probably get the book to Ventus right away, guys. Unless y'all have any other plans.
I mean, realistically, if we need to, I can take it on my own while you guys do your thing. I mean, it only really takes one of us to take the damn book.
This is true.
You know, we have been traveling a lot away from our home. We should get somebody here who could potentially stay here a lot.
What, like a butler?
Or maybe rather than a butler, maybe somebody we can hire to sell our wares or something. Stuff we run across.
I haven't started making anything and we don't have the forge in yet.
True.
And someone spent all our fortune money on a bow!
We're fine. We have more money.
That was out of character, by the way.
Didn't seem like it.
I don't think Perthros really cares whether we get a goddamn forge or not. It's not like he's gonna use the damn thing.
Maybe we can convince somebody, maybe like the person I go to from a medical south, maybe he can move into this building. It is closer to the center of town.
Yeah. We can worry about that once we get, once we actually start actively recruiting other people who are going to be leaving the city. We can just rotate around.
True.
Pretty sure our building isn't really fit for his needs anyway.
What a little expansion, but yeah, that would take some money.
There's
Well, it takes
also
some
the
gold.
whole location, Tate. The fact that it's right next to the city guard headquarters.
We probably have the best location in town.
That
We don't
would be
need
the best
someone
location.
guarding.
Nobody would expect it.
We don't need guards for our place, Tate.
No, it's the guards wouldn't. The guards wouldn't look there. It's right next to them. They definitely wouldn't look right next to them.
No, that's you.
Nobody would expect it.
That's you.
No, that's just you.
No, that's the guards. They would not expect that.
That's why they didn't let you into the guard, Tate.
My logic's sound.
Not really, but shall we move on?
Mm-hmm. So is anyone else going to go do their thing while I go take in the book, or are we all just going to go?
I'm gonna head with you because I'm probably gonna check out the library afterwards.
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna head with you as well.
I'm kind of curious about the book, so I was going to head with you.
Alright, the book was in a language we couldn't read.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I was trying to remember what the hell the book said.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I'm hoping he can enlighten us on more information about it.
What about you two?
I would like to check out a weapon place.
Alright. Arim?
Calb?
You go, AFK?
No, I'm here.
Oh.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Big time.
I don't know. Maybe I should head off to that forge place and see what the prices were again, because I don't recall.
Wouldn't be a bad plan. Assuming they're still open.
You never know.
Yeah.
Gosh, Lamb. Have all your information on the board, huh?
That way we don't have to, like, ask about it every 12 seconds.
I took after you on that one.
So I think that's how the party is going to be splitting, Marcos. I think everyone but Achaidh is heading to the... or is heading to Siakmanos.
Oh, that is true. We are going to see Octomenos.
You don't have to come. You don't have to come, Tate. It's just...
I know, but I want to see if Lord Quali is there.
Okay, Tate. So everyone except Kelbzan is heading to the place, and then he's going to go
to the
ask
forge.
the guy about
Yeah,
getting
a
a forge.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just start with you, Kelb. You walk a ways. Eventually, you get to... I think it was Honest Bob, but I can't remember which exact one it was.
That makes two of us, Marcus.
That sounds right. Honest Bob's. Something.
I have the starts of an NPC sheet, but not all of them. Yeah. Discount Forge and Metalworking Emporium was Honest Bob.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he already started a potential contract with them. Do you remember how much I said he told you? Quoted you?
No, I think that's why he's
That's
heading
why
back.
He's going back.
Yeah, Marcus, I even went through all my notes. I'm not seeing where I marked this down, so it apparently never got marked down, or I just relied on trying to remember it.
Alright. Well, you enter into Honest Bob's shop. It looks like it's still open, but he is closing up for the day. And he is behind the counter, basically just putting away different materials. The forge is starting to die down. The stuff that he was working on is, for the most part, put away, or put into storing racks. But he is currently occupied with putting stuff away. He does not notice you walk in. Do you just wait for him to acknowledge you, or no?
I'll wait a few minutes. See if he realizes I'm in there.
Alright. After a few minutes go by, with him rummaging around with his shit, he starts walking back over towards another spot of the store that happens to be in the direction of the door, and notices you and goes, Arim, right? What can I do for you today? Back to talk about that forge contract?
Why, yes I am, and yes it is. I can't seem to remember the prices you had given me.
Well, ultimately, it's going to depend on what you want. I mean, the biggest, baddest combo that I've got going on would be about 9,000 gold. The most simplest of work that I could do for you inside of the city would probably range around, about 100 gold. This depends on if you're going to want something that's just essentially just a couple of stones with fire to the full-on... What the fuck am I thinking of? Smithery. I can't even think of what you would call each thing other than an anvil. Like, there's a thing that you melt metal in, the thing that you
Crucible,
heat metal in.
forge.
Right. Anyway, though, what he's saying, though, in short, as the DM, he could give you a very basic, it's not going to be being used to make any kind of mastercraft or anything of the such, simple forge for about 100 gold. Or he can build you a very elaborate forge and a very nice anvil, an anvil setup, and a nice crucible with all the tools you should need. But that's going to rank you up to 9,000. And then he's got a couple in between that are going to go at 500, and 2,000, and 5,000. The 100 is just a basic forge. The, 500 is a basic forge, basic crucible, basic anvil. The 2,000 is a nice version of all three. The 5,000 is essentially a very decorative, nice one, where it, gameplay-wise, isn't going to change anything in terms of mechanics, but in terms of, like, role play, it's going to make it look very nice. You know, people are going to think it's a very, very, very well-off place. And then the 9,000 is that, but technically it's all like mastercraft or specialty, so it gives bonuses to using them. I know the 9,000 is a very, very, very pricey, so obviously it's for later.
Okay, and my thoughts was a forge that's nice enough to smelt mithril, Marcus?
Nice enough to smelt mithril would probably be your 2,000. Just a very simple forge really isn't going to cut it. And the step up from that is, which is the basic version of all three. I mean, you could potentially do stuff with mithril, but you're going to take the chance of impurities or taking extra long on doing what you want to do, due to having to take your time. And then the step up from that would be your forge, that you can realistically do everything. You just don't get any bonuses to it. So your 2,000 would be your one where you can do everything and you don't have to worry about any kind of flubs. Unless you roll like 6 ones in a row, in which case, I guess, you know, the universe hates you.
Well, in that case, Marcus. What time do you open tomorrow, Bob?
Tomorrow I should be open at the crack of, not quite when the sun is risen, but I'd say right around... Fuck it. Right around 10 a.m. Clocks aren't a thing, but use your idea for when the sun should be at that point during... It's not at the sunrise, but when it's like...
Imagine people have used sundials in this world to some degree.
Right, so 10 a.m.
Alrighty, well, I'm gonna let you close up here and I'll stop by tomorrow. Need to see about our funding at the moment.
Sounds great. I'll see you then. With that, then you head on off.
Back to the guild hall.
All right. And during all of that, then the rest of the party, you enter in through the main guild's doorways. And you see the familiar face of Clara doing paperwork and so forth behind her desk.
Hello, Clara. If possible, we need to see Augmentus, please.
Of course. Let me just see when he's ready.
Alright, thank you.
She goes into her back room, immediately comes out of said back room, and goes... He said to head on... He said to head on up right now.
Thank you once again. We'll be off then.
Does everyone head up, or is anyone staying behind to go to the library or bar?
I'll head up.
I'll be heading up too.
I'm going up because I have a stupid book. And I don't really have anything else to do.
Jared?
I'm heading up as well.
Alright, everyone heads on up. You see the creation of the magical hallway. You go down it. There's the familiar pedestals with items and pictures with pictures. And the red double doors, you open them up. You enter in, and there's Octmenos behind his desk. Looks like examining something and taking notes down about it.
Sorry to bother you at this time of day, Augmentus, but we have something important we need for you to look at, and we would like some more information about that. Perthos here has the item in question.
I'll whip out the book.
Alright. As Samael is talking, he just kind of raises an eyebrow slowly as he just keeps talking. And when you whip out the book, he just holds his hand out halfway, obviously showing, hand me the book, not just show the book.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know that that's his personality. Like, I'm not reaching out and grabbing it. You give it to me. When you give him the book, he looks at the front, does kind of a, kind of look, puts it down, opens it up, flips through a few pages, and goes, "So, what did you want to know?"
Well, we're kind of curious what it said, because I was unable to even comprehend the language, nor was anyone else that we came across, and also was curious how come a creature seemed to be summoned out of it.
Well, closing the book. This is from a time quite some time ago. How do I put it delicately? Before all of you, there was other people, and this language is now dead, and they had magic and, we'll call it technology, or magical items, much more advanced than this time period. This is one of their books. This is a magical book known as a storybook.
I was going to say encyclopedia. Damn it.
No, known as
Dramatica?
known as a storybook. The story that's in the book is typically it summons a monster, people fight the monster, and then the book is a novelization on each encounter with the monster. So now the last chapter is you guys. All the other chapters are just other people.
That's strangely specific.
Very strangely specific.
Well, I know the language, so...
Sounds like an
Speaking of
SBC,
the
Marcus.
language, does anyone still use that alphabet? Because it seems oddly familiar.
Does anyone use this alphabet? No. Does anyone use parts of the alphabet? Yes, all of you. All of your languages are based on this language.
I was less
Ah,
questioning your
that's-
ability to read it and more questioning the function of the book, by the way. Just seems like that's a bit of an unusual item for someone to even conceptualize.
Yeah, like I said, their magic was a bit stronger than, well, all of you.
I see. Well, I suppose if all it is a storybook and retelling the same story over and over, I feel like it'd probably be best if left in your hands.
Oh, I would greatly appreciate it. I'd love to read how others did it. He just
How we
opens
got
up
our
to a
asses kicked.
He just opens to a random page. Like this one, it's... Huh. Well, that sucks. He pauses for a minute and then looks up. Sorry, someone decided to shoot fire on it and made it into molten, and then someone tripped in it. And yeah, that's pretty detailed. I did not need to know that. But what can I say? It's all interesting. Closing the book again. Here, since it's such a rare item, he takes out a bag and hands it to you guys. Gold for your trouble.
Well, thank you. I'll hold up my hand and open the bag to see how much gold's in it.
You would estimate there is about 2,000 gold in it.
How convenient.
How convenient. Also because I already had that written down.
Okay, that's fair.
Plot device.
How
Marcus really
convenient.
wants us to get that forge.
Oh, that's what, for the forge?
No, not
Okay.
necessarily. You
Oh,
guys could
okay.
use it for whatever you want. It's just I had written down 2,000, and then I was just randomly deciding what prices should be, more or less, for the forge. What Honest Bob is gonna decide he's gonna charge. And then when I looked at my sheet and I saw 2,000, since I have push and talk, he didn't hear me go, huh, to myself. So, anyway.
Well, we'll be out of your way. Appreciate you, giving us information about the book and for the gold as well.
Of course. Before all of you leave, well, all of you can leave. He looks at Zephyr. You stay.
just leave at that point.
Yeah.
I just kind of shrug and step forward.
You hear him start to rip Zephyr apart. Not really.
Oh, I thought you meant like literally, like him.
I was imagining
Literally.
starting up angle grinder,
Right, I
torque wrench.
I meant literally, where he's just like, alright, well, time to kill you and dismantle you.
Pretty much. That's what I was like.
Get some extra mithril out of the deal.
Right, no.
I did want to ask you a question, Dr. Venos.
Of course.
Have you heard from Law lately? Law.
I have.
Didn't I? You
Do you know if he's anywhere in the city?
No, he's, Oh...
He's all far away.
I don't even remember what the island is called. He's on an island. It's full of interesting people living in a very interesting way.
It's a nudist colony.
Honestly, you'd probably fit right in.
Hint, hint.
I'll have to look
Can't.
into that, definitely.
Oh, you'll find no information unless you talk to me, the gnomes, or a couple other people. But you're not going to find that information in the library. Sorry, my dear.
Well, I've always had the strange inclination that I didn't really belong, but I wasn't too sure. She says sarcastically. She obviously knows. So I'll have to look into that. I'll ask you
Fucking
after you
could have
meet up
fooled
with
me,
Zephyr.
asshole.
Of course. How about you set up an appointment with Clara? As soon as I'm done with Zephyr here, I'll be far too busy again.
Okay.
Do you exit then, Tate? With the rest of
Yes.
the party that had exited?
Yep.
Okay. Noah, you had also left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Little known fact. Look, the Kitsune plush I have gets green screened. Partially.
Okay.
So, buy it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just getting rid of putting stuff where it should go. Zephyr. Everyone exits. What are you doing while you wait for him to acknowledge you?
Just kind of standing there, glancing around the room. Maybe just checking out what's sitting on his desk.
Alright. While he was talking to Avina, you take a quick glance at what's on the desk. And it is an odd cylindrical item with what appears to be some sort of glass front and a button.
Glass front with a button. Are we going to Fillory?
No.
Is Tate the only one that got that reference?
Maybe.
Wait, I don't how a glass front button has anything to do with Fillory.
The button, when they got it, was stored in a container that had a glass front to it, so you could actually see into it to see the button, Jared.
All I can remember is a watch.
I thought you was talking about, like, Gnome's place.
Alright, well, after Avina leaves, he follows and makes sure the door closes. And he walks up behind you, Zephyr, and goes, "Follow me." And he goes
I
over
follow
to one of
wordlessly.
the... Okay, he goes to one of the side doors and opens it up. Inside is a very nice, way too large to be in that spot, room, which you would assume is his bedroom, but it's almost like the entire living quarters fused together, as in it has its own stove and everything. And he walks up to a solid wall with runes on them. Says something, too hard to hear. And a portal appears. And he gestures you in.
I cautiously step through the portal.
You step through, and all of a sudden you are inside of Gnome's mansion's dining room. And he walks behind you.
Darkmanos or Gnome?
Gnome. Oh, Octomenos walks in from behind him. You see Gnome sitting and eating. You see Zenoa. You see a couple people that have yet to be introduced. Oh, more than a couple. A good number. And the white-haired man and the other two women that are always with them are all at the table, and there are two empty chairs, and Octomenos sits at one, and he looks at you and goes, "Sit."
I do.
Upon beginning to eat, Gnome looks up and goes, "How's it going, Zephyr?"
It's been interesting.
"I hear you've come across a book."
Yeah, we fought a Shaka Golem.
No. A different book. One that seems to hurt your head.
Is that common for a Warforged?
Well, for you. I'm just curious, how far have you gotten?
I'm trying to remember how far I got.
To the point where they are teenagers and they're starting to do more adventurous stuff instead of just children who are playing around in the village. So you're in the early adventuring days.
It's getting to the point where the main character and his new friend are young adults, and they're just kind of testing out their skills.
I see. Tell me, if you had to name the main character, what would you name him?
Is this Pokemon now?
It's
The book never
I
gave a
kind
name.
of just, I don't know, from the perspective it's written, I just kind of visualize it from the main character's eyes. I don't know if he really refers to himself, but I connect a lot with some of what he says.
Oh, I'm sure you do. That was all. I was just curious. You're able to leave whenever you want, or you can enjoy having a meal with all of us friends here.
I don't think I could pass up the food. I stay for some of the food.
All right. Just like the last time you were in Gnome's Mansion, when you open up the plate's top lid thing, upon the plate is perfectly made food that is exactly what you would want. And they eat, and you hear them joking, and then every now and then talking. Obviously, because of you being in the room, avoiding anything too serious, other than saying, in a sense, code words of, has the specific individuals made a deal with Party A? Oh, and one looks slightly confused, but kind of understanding, going, of the northeastern city. Oh, yes. No, they're being kind of assholes. They'll need to be persuaded a little bit more. That's the kind of topics you're hearing, other than jokes of, I heard such and such party fought a such and such, and the orc guy accidentally bonked the paladin in the head with his hammer. And they laugh at it as if it's humorous, but not humorous.
I'll kind of pay attention to which one's bringing up more of the kind of jovial topics and who's bringing up more of the want to try and get down to business topics.
All of them, oddly enough. They all seem to have a similar but different personality. They all seem to try and be fun, but at the same time, very serious. With some being a little bit more asshole-ish, I guess we could say, than another, or some being a bit more charismatic. But ultimately, they all make jokes and they all talk serious.
After a bit of food, I slowly push away from the table. And I imagine that most of you have some things you need to talk about, so I will head back to, well, I imagine my plane.
They look at each other and laugh. Oh, you're still on your plane. Technically, you're in the Gnome City. Congratulations, you're where no one else is, other than gnomes.
And Aquanos.
Technically. Well, technically. But you're not going to be allowed to leave this room. You can, by all means. Pointing at what appeared to be not much, but now you've realized is absolutely a window. You can look behind that curtain and peek through the window. You get 1 second, and then we're going to teleport you.
I nod my head and head towards the window since they offered.
You pull back the curtain, you look through the window, and just as you begin to see stuff, you suddenly get teleported back into the guild hall, into the hallway outside of the magical hallway. All you were able to make out is this isn't just a normal city like this city, where it's all 1 to 2 story buildings for the most part. The Gnome City is skyscrapers with domes spread about and so just a lot of stuff that makes no sense.
I just kind of stand there for a second and then just shake my head and head over to the library.
All right, what do you want to look for in the library?
I am going to look for a book on basic herbs, like either simple medicine or just whatever's edible. Stuff that'll be kind of like help figure out stuff for foraging.
Okay. Roll me a search.
$22.
You are able to find 3 journals and 2 books. The books are essentially like plants and you, or foragery and you. And then the other one is medicinal uses for herbs and other assorted plants. And then again, journals. So it's just people's personal jottings of what they've come across and their effects.
Okay.
So, while I assume you read and copy all of those books, everyone else, Kelb, you enter into your guild hall. No one else is there yet, the first one.
I'm heading up to my room and putting some stuff away.
Alright, while you're upstairs and doing that, the other 4, you guys also get back to your room.
I was
house.
I was actually planning to go to the library after we finished with Loch Minnows. I just never really had a point to pop in and say that.
Okay, the other 3 are
Sorry.
there. Well, I guess real quickly, what did you want to look for in the library?
Just like regional herbs I would be using to mix simple poultices, stuff like that.
Alright, go ahead and roll me a search.
$19.
You find 1 journal and 2 books. I used all my good names on.
I'm not worried about it too much. I'm just looking for something for like specifically around the areas, like around the city and around where we usually do the thing with the wand and the dice. Just so it's like, oh, hey, there's a thing I can pick up and use later.
What do you mean, like, use the wand and then you use later?
Well, so you know that area outside the city where we go.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, like, as we're going out there, it's like I would be looking for stuff to pick up so I can use it later. It's like, oh, I can pick some of this stuff up and mix it later for something to help prevent wounds from becoming septic or something.
I see. Okay, yeah. Those both book and journal are informative about that.
Yay.
The journal is a little bit more personal than the book. The book is a little bit more informational than the journal. The journal, though, has drawings. The person was not good at drawing.
Oh.
Alright, so the other 3. You guys then get back to your guild hall. Unless someone else didn't want to go back to the guild hall.
I'm not. I was going to the weapon shop.
The weapon shop, by the time you're done with Octomenos, would have been closed.
Damn it! Okay, I gotta check that out tomorrow then, because I need a giant wooden mallet.
That's why Kel made a beeline straight to the forgery Tate.
Yeah.
You can go tomorrow, Tate. That's why you wake up.
I'm gonna assume the other, all three of you then went back to the guild hall. Does anyone do
Yeah.
anything there, or no?
Nah, I'll probably go to bed and then we can talk about the money once everyone's together. Yeah, that's right.
I am going to spend some time woodworking a puzzle box. Hello?
A box for you.
No box.
All the boxes. All the boxes.
Just want to spend some time carving some wood to try and make a puzzle box. One with a hidden compartment when you solve it.
Since you're really getting into the woodworking, I'm just putting into the log pile, if you hover over it, how many logs are there. So you have 7 3 by 1 foot logs left. Essentially, you have 7 wooden logs left that are 3 feet long and about 1 foot wide. So they're decent size, but you're running short. You only have 7.
It's a 1 foot by 1 foot box. So probably only need that much wood off one of the logs.
For now, I'm not going to take account of it for the 7 logs that are there. I'll just account that to the log you would have used for your weapon item thing that you made earlier.
Okay.
So you had 8 before that, and the leftovers for that you can use to make your box. But from this point forward, 7 logs, roughly 3 feet per log.
I'm guessing at 21 I probably make the puzzle box, unless I need to make multiple checks.
Give me 1 quick second. What did you get on your craft?
21.
How intricate or advanced are you trying to go?
Probably about medium on that. Just not too complicated, but not too simple.
Oh yeah, looking online at the craft ability, a 21 would make it. You would say you made a professional or almost professional level puzzle box. It is a very, very, very nice puzzle box. Tate, what are you doing?
Honestly, watching Cal mess with Katie K-Bot.
Tate, what is Avina doing?
I don't know. Since she couldn't make it to the store, I would assume she's probably eating at the bar for the night, and then probably heading home to go to sleep.
The Guild's bar or a tavern?
The Guild's bar. She's probably going to pull out some of that medical salve to the one with the fox hip stuff to maybe try it out, or maybe have other people try it out.
Drugs!
Well, the Guild's bar, Tate, tends to be relatively empty most of the time. It's primarily a place for quick food or whatever for guild people. If you want to have more interesting interactions, like it sounds like you're wanting, you would probably go to a tavern because that's for the public.
Yeah. Probably the tavern then.
Roll me a search.
$16.
All right. You find one. Real quickly, though, does anyone have the name for a bar? Something not like this, but in a sense, how you might name a bar like the Dilapidated Pony.
But I have a generator
Or-
for this.
Bring it up real quick. Let's see what bar Tate finds. Tavern, sorry.
And then I realized I should probably take the book out of my inventory.
You just pick one out of this list of 20, Marcus. You want me to give you the link so you can look at it yourself, or?
I mean, it doesn't really matter if you have a really good one in there.
Roll a d20 and pick.
You know what? I actually will go with that route. Let me roll a d20 and we can figure out which one it's going to be, because I like a lot of these. Yeah. Lemur's Bar, or the Lemur's Bar if you prefer.
That or the romantic t-shirt tavern. But I don't know.